Okay, so welcome to this course, Introduction to Classical Chinese Philosophy. My name is Masayuki Sato. I am Japanese, but I lived Japan for 25 years, and I received a college education in Japan, and then first moved to Taiwan, and I got a political science master degree, and then moved to Korea, and similarly I got a political science degree, and in that process I have written my MSc thesis on Confucianism, Mencius and Korean Confucianism, and then I moved to Netherlands, and I continue to do research on political philosophy. And my the title of dissertation is, well, area of study is on Ch2, who you just watch the pictures. And my interest of research is early Chinese political philosophy and history of various conceptual terms. So my research way is to focus on concepts, benevolence, rituals, loyalty, and Tao, do you know? Tao, the way, the way, and virtue of power, the. If you see any Chinese names and even Japanese names, lot of the, right? Lot of the. And another, perhaps some of you find out, for example, Japanese name, Makoto, and a lot of Makoto, and this is Chen. Chen means sincerity. But it is sincerity to have some dynamism, for one person to expand the moral excellence. But anyhow, these are all our topics to discuss in future our class. And also, my major is Ch2, yes. This is the core of my research topics. So I prepared 2 lectures on Ch2. And of course, Ch2 is a synthesizer, as I argued. I argued Ch2 is synthesizer. So to know the characteristic of the Ch2 thought, we need to more or less contextualize how the flow of early Chinese thoughts. Okay, and recently I also tried to compare the East Asian political thought. I mean, compare among China, Korea, and Japan mainly, and its interactions in terms of the development of political philosophy. Okay, so yes, this is my the first publication. It's political thought on Ch2. I published this in this book in Netherlands, and the second one is the research on the idea of the loyalty, loyalty, in early Chinese political thought. Okay, so these are my core research interests. So you listen much about some political thought or the relationship with political philosophy and ethics and political thought and other aspects. So I think this passage, this paragraph have been already publicized, and you have read the content, and you choose. This is English graduate course, and it's designed for both international students who wants to acquire basic knowledge about the main issue and arguments in Chinese classical philosophy, and for Chinese students who want to learn skills to ponder and discuss the relevant subject in English. But according to my experience, higher than 95% consists of international students. So but of course I welcome if you want to learn some English skill to express your own thought or concept, your idea in English. Yes, so it is to to main expected audiences. Yeah. And this course provides a contextual and evolutionary account. This is one point. Contextual and evolutionary account for how various Chinese classical thought came into several highly organized social political theories. Yeah. So if you listened one by one, and you will find out that my point is not explain that each of philosophers, each or some characteristic. Of course, I explain characteristic, but characteristic explanation for characteristic is not my purpose. My purpose is context, yeah, relationship, yeah, in more evolutionary point of view, yeah. And this is my hypothesis, yeah. So various kind of ideas and concepts has been synthesized into, for example, the Ch2's, yeah, Chinese Aristotle, yeah, Ch2's social political thought, and that set of political theory critically influence our ethical political institutions, values, yeah, and some religious thought, yeah. For example, our very positive attitude to the rituals and social norms, and our more negative attitude to, in the English word, law, yeah, in Chinese word, fa. So our Western friends ask why Chinese people have not, how to say, keep the regulation or institution which has been regulated by so-called law in Chinese sense, law. Yeah. So these things are our questions, yeah, to be discussed. And of course, I don't expect any decisive answer, but I do hope, yeah, to some hints to discuss and understand more about these matters. Okay. So requirement, but this is just for one thing. Yeah, welcome international student whose mother tongue is not Chinese. In such a case, I hope the ability to recognize some historical names, events, and terminologies by Chinese characters are necessary to follow the course. But you can just learn by one. Or Chinese conceptual terms. I think at most, okay, you memorize 30, okay, benevolence, Zhen. Which are social norms, Li, and sincerity, Chen. Yeah, perhaps you, if you need memorize, yeah, 20 to 30 should be enough. Yeah, should be enough. But the memorize is not important. But it is important to the ability to discuss if you have heard some Chinese names, basic historical and conceptual terms. Yeah, of course I explained one by one. Yeah, but I think yeah, I know some of you conduct sufficiently good Chinese. Yeah, right. Anybody of you have already, yeah, speak fluent Chinese? Yes, yeah, I expect, yeah, or Chinese background, you also, yeah. And the rest of you now attending Chinese course, right? So I hope through this course, you understand some of very important, some conceptual terms. Okay, you have learned, okay, way, virtue, yeah. I think in your home university, if you had the opportunity to listen to the Chinese philosophy course, okay, now let's think about in Chinese terms, yeah, in connection with, yeah, contemporary Chinese, yeah, usage, yeah, and that makes your knowledge and you understand more rich, yeah. because you are now in Taiwan. So procedure of each class consists of these 5 process. At first I make short introduction to the topic, and then I ask a participant to make a short, as I said, 10 or 20 minutes, and at maximum 30 minutes presentation on reading materials. And reading materials is usually consists of 20, 30 pages, article or book chapters. So I think for you, all of you, it's a cup of tea actually. Yeah. So I don't ask you to read original Chinese. Yeah. So this is student part. Yeah. And then question and short discussion follow the presentation. I think basically I have all our participants to discuss each other first. Yeah. So the presenters, I mean, it is a dialogue between presenter and other audience. Yeah. And through this discussions, presenters find a new problem on her or his own understanding on the materials. Okay. Of course, sometimes I make comment or some supplementary comment, but basically I ask to discuss our students. Okay. And tend to well, it depends. It depends. Okay, sometimes very short, 5 minutes. Sometimes a bit long, 10 to 15 minutes. And then this is some warming up for our participant to understand or entering the core of the subject. And then after short break, and I start to lecture on the topic. Well, I wrote 15 to 60 minutes. 60 minutes is my purpose, but I made a PPT file, and some files are very long, and some PPT file are a bit short. So there are some ranges. Yeah, some range. Yeah, from the short 15 minutes, perhaps it's 70 minutes or something like that. Yeah, but of course we need more or less unity. Yeah, unity for the length of time. Yeah, so I set my purpose to finish in 60 minutes, so 1 hour. Yeah, and the rest of time, it's quite depends. But I hope we read some of the philosophical text itself. For example, the Analect, Lao Tzu. Yeah, of course I will explain, and I quote many passages and paragraphs from the text, but some of them are quite long. Yeah, and it's better to read among all of us from the beginning to the end. Yeah, of course we can use a translation. Yeah, so not all our class, but sometimes I use some important text to share. Yeah, among us. So this is some reading time, and we conclude with our discussions, free discussion. But I basically end of my lecture, I prepare 2 or 3 questions. I already prepared. Yeah. So we can start from the questions which I have asked. But of course, yeah. All of you have your own questions, on some orientation to, well, the direction, yeah, through which you understand more about the topic. So, so basically, the last discussion is free, yeah, free topic and the directions, yeah. Sometimes it is question and answers, and sometimes discussion among our students, yeah. Yeah, any time or form will be expected, yeah, and welcome, of course. But actually, my impression is that those students who come from the United States worry about the amount or range of the reference which quoted or which collected. But in the case of my course, I don't request my participant to looking for other second materials to quote or discuss. Basically, I hope that all of you make dialogue with the first with Chinese, the classical text. Yeah, of course, yeah, through translation, then no problem. Through translation, which I suggest you to read. Yeah, this is the first. This is first my request. And the second, okay, if you need some help or some explanation with contemporary scholars, okay, first use the reading materials. So I choose one or two second reading materials, yeah, for you. So okay, you then refer to my reading materials or view of contemporary scholars. And then, okay, arrange. And if your level is really, yeah, really higher than that, and if you know more about reference, okay, I feel very welcome. I feel very welcome. If you don't know, but you want to refer to further, okay, just consult me. Yeah, I would suggest, yeah, some of them. Which is relevant to your topic, yeah. Okay. So this is, yeah, this point involves the, third point. I recommend students to spend much time to read classical text and distributed materials rather than to search other materials, yeah, to prepare your papers. And I hope, this is not compulsory, but I hope if you have time and some financially possible, I would encourage to purchase the translation, any translation of the Analect and the Lao Tzu, because these are not, not voluminous, yeah. Lao Tzu, it just consists of 5,000 Chinese words. Some of you, I think some of you already know. Yeah. The Analect is a bit, yeah, more. Yeah. And these are the two core, the core Chinese philosophical text, which has been cherished by the list of all times, from China, Korea, Vietnam to Japan. I summarize the characteristic or my orientation, my own orientation to be discussed. Yeah. So this course tries to elucidate the transformation of social and intellectual milieu during the Warring State period, especially it presupposes that there was great transformation of argumentative framework through mid to late Warring State period. Yeah. So I call it the transformation from ethical discourse to analytical discourse. Yeah. So my this course is not the collection of the so-called very famous scholars or these scholars, and I corrected corrected to and present to you. It is my own discourse. All the philosophers, all text has been shown or presented based on my own interpretation. So that means, of course, you don't need to agree to that. So from my discussion, you can raise questions and further discussion, and I hope this makes contribute to your more understanding. So I will, I will try to elucidate one by one in my lectures. Yeah, but at least I think it is meaningless if I just collected some Western scholars' views to present to you, because most of you come from the Western world. Yeah, but I don't. But on the other hand, I don't want to argue or force you to involve with some Chinese or some East Asian view. So my choice is that I make my one hand. I try to make my my lectures on the basis of my scholarly understanding. Yeah, and I rather provide my own view, but it is based on my own scholarly research. So I don't either quote, I quote, but just made my explanation just based on the views by Chinese and Japanese or Korean scholars. So all the topics I digest and analyze by my own analysis, and I propose and ask your discussion and further understanding. Yeah, and even I welcome criticism. So in the explanation of the significance of a particular thinker or thought is usually evaluated in relation with its developmental role for overcoming problems which its predecessors have left. So among these, discourse will pay close attention to several influential linkage between two thinkers. Yeah, for example, Mozi and Mencius, whose relationship have been usually considered adversary or even hostile. And I don't know, you have already consulted those articulation on Chinese classical philosophers by Western scholars, but there is some characteristic. In my reading, the many Western scholars like to contrast it. One characteristic and the contrast. And in this way discuss. But I rather, of course, that's, in some cases, that's true, But I rather emphasize, the common characteristic in these difference, and why there have been common and some advanced report, and even. There have been a very interesting situation. The two thinkers had a very similar characteristic in many argumentation, but why they argued with each other? So there are a lot of interesting issues. So I discuss in these matters based on my understanding that basically Chinese philosophers, the philosophical vision has been consist a kind of web, of their different argumentation, and we try to understand the relationship, and rather than seeing whole text, the text as a more divided or solo, form of unique form of text. To the extent that the social political matters has always been a central issue in the mind of almost all thinkers. So in Chinese political philosophy, Chinese philosophy itself cannot be developed or even existed without political issues, political matters. But I think if you have read Greek philosophy, Plato's Republic, or if you just remind the fact that Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics has been followed by politics, right? So I think this way of thinking is in common, perhaps, in Greek and Chinese philosophy. So many accounts of such articulation often differs from those in reading materials. Because I choose the various authors of reading materials. Some of them are written from the position of philosophy of logic. Some reading as more some literal articulation on the argument. Some of them has more other focus on other aspects. So my focus is politics, political philosophy. The schedule. The first week, from the next, I enter into the topics, and I start with what is Chinese philosophy. What is Chinese philosophy? So a lot of intellectuals, both in Western philosophers and the historian of intellectual thought, doubted, Chinese philosophy indeed exists. If it exists, on what kind of condition? So we discuss these matters. And I use one reading materials for helping our discussion. And the second week we discuss the intellectual foundation for Chinese philosophy. Well, actually we say Chinese thought should be all right. Because I understand that some of scholars really don't agree that Chinese philosophy can exist. So anyhow, we discuss some characteristics in Chinese thinking, both in ancient times and perhaps modern times. So what is the characteristic of some Chinese thinking, Chinese philosophy, a Chinese worldview, Chinese ethics? We use two scholars. One is Chinese, one is American. So I contrasted two views to discuss. Then I move to political origin of Chinese philosophy and Confucianism. This is something analogical arrangement. If you attend the course of Western political philosophy, before you read Plato's Republic, usually many instructors ask you to read Socrates, the apology of Socrates, right? And the instructors present the situation of the Athens democracy and program democracy and Socrates' attitudes, and for the confrontation between philosophy and actual politics, etc. And I use this setting, and first I present some social political, some contextual understanding to get into the matter on the origin of Chinese philosophy. And then we start the individual individual thinkers. Yeah, exposition of individual thinkers. So first, I explain Confucius and the analects. And then the rise of Moism, yeah, the emulation of its ethical discourse. So I just mentioned that my view is that the development of intellectual discourse from ethical to analytical, and Confucius ethics is, yeah, it is the whole origin of Chinese ethical or even Chinese philosophy, yeah. But interesting thing is some ethical aspect of Confucian has been challenged but enhanced by the rise of Moism. So in this perspective, I contextualized the Moist thought in the form of development of Confucian thought. Okay, if you feel difficulty to follow my explanation, that's fine. Okay, I will explain the one by one in each my lectures. Yeah, I just present the outline. Yeah, and then Mencius. Yeah, Mencius has been regarded second sage, right, by Chinese the historical intellectuals or neo-Confucianists. Yeah, the first sage has been, of course, Confucius, and second sage has been Mencius in Chinese traditional thinking. And I regard the significance of Mencius thought as a kind of synthesis of Confucius and Moist thought. Yeah, this is a bit different view from the other scholars. Yeah, because they usually see the Confucian thought has been developed by Mencius, yeah, as some rival thought, yeah, against Moism. But I rather see the Mencius thought a kind of synthesis of early Confucians and Moist. And then I describe the great intellectual transformation, the Ch2 thinkers. Ch2 is the name of the part of city, yeah, something like Gongguan, yeah, Gongguan, yeah. Yeah, so those scholars lived in Ch2 area, yeah, who the role and the role of their activities has been analogous to, for example, the Academia of Plato or Lycaon of Aristotle. Yeah, so a group of people, yeah, contributed or even completely changed the intellectual scene of how the Warring field thought. Yeah, so I will present this view, and this view also my own how to say, this is what I argued in the scholarly circle. Yeah, and then I describe the Lao Tzu as a crystallization of the way, but partly Lao Tzu's thought has been influenced by some Ch2's intellectual movement. Yeah. And yeah, something this time I have to say after I read Mencius, let's say the scope of midterm paper has been there's some about there's some methodological issues, historical background, and Confucius, Moist, and Mencius. Yeah. So these are the scope of a midterm paper. Okay. And the rest of the latter half of my class, Yeah, of course, Laozi's discussion have been followed by Ch2. Yeah, Ch2 is the most cherished philosopher in any Chinese philosophy. Yeah, and yeah, many people think that Ch2 is the best book ever written in East Asian tradition. The best book. Yeah. Yeah, many people argue that. Yeah. Like, yeah, like the case that the many political philosophers argue that the Plato's Republic is the first and best book ever written. Yeah. And the rest of them are, started from the Plato and only no more than commentary or response to Plato. Yeah. And then I moved to Ch2. Yeah. Ch2 has been described in my lecture a great synthesizer. Yeah, between the ethical side of thought and analytical side of thought. Yeah, what I mean analytical denote that the change of focus from the merely ethical issues to more, for example, metaphysical or the mechanism of society and universe, yeah, or the nature of human being. Yeah, in the perspective of how a ruler control his own country. Yeah, so they needed during mid-Warring State period, the rulers and intellectuals start to need to get the more objective knowledge to rule the world or understand the world. So this is the analytical discourse. And Ch2 has been the synthesizer of the ethical discourse and analytical discourse. And I divide two parts to discuss the Ch2's his very broad range of synthesis. And after you listen to these two lectures, yeah, I believe that you will get to know that the fact that contemporary Chinese and East Asia and, for example, Japanese people influenced so deeply by the philosophy of Ch2 in many aspects. Our ethical value, our institution, yeah. For example, the Korean dynasties, the Yi dynasty has really cherished the ritual text. Yeah, it is what they call Li Gui. Yeah, it is a set of the ritual visualized ritual text. Yeah, and this is a national treasure as well as what we say the treasure designated by UNESCO. Yeah, and in Japan, the imperial system based on ritual, yeah, which is transcended from some system of law. Do you know what I mean? So another questions. Do you think the position of the Japanese emperor has been restricted by Japanese constitution? Yes, if we say if you are the scholar on law. But do you think that Japanese people believe in that? Okay, this is worth to discuss. But my question or my suggestion is that Japanese imperial system is based on the very deep appreciation of the emperor as the core of ritual system. And this system has been constructed on the philosophy of Ch2. But this is the only example. Only the example. Okay, another example. Another example is that Chinese emperor. Okay, another example, Chinese emperor. Some of you has read Hegel's The Philosophy of History. Yeah, as philosophy. Yeah, the developmental stage of philosophy, right? From India, China, and Europe. Yeah, some of you know that. Yeah, and in this point of view, the Oriental, some monarchy has been described as Oriental despotism, right? So in this perspective, okay, a Chinese emperor is a tyrant. So I mean, if he wants anything, he can do everything, right? Have you watched the Last Emperor, the movie Last Emperor? So in the Last Emperor, this aspect has been overemphasized, I think. Yeah, emperors will influence anything. Yeah, but I am afraid to say that Chinese people, in many ways, don't agree to that. Perhaps the Chinese emperor is the last person who has more freely behaving himself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because emperor has been regulated, all his words and all his word and all his behavior has been strictly regulated by ritual, li. Not completely ritual, the term ritual, li. Yeah, li. So that's why I emphasize the importance of understanding some conceptual terms. Yeah, themselves. Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow. Okay. I tentatively translate rituals or ritual and social norm. So from the time he wake up and until he go to bed, all his words and behavior has been strictly regulated by li or rituals. So do you think he's a free man or free human being? Yeah. So this is a paradox. Yeah. So I take a few example to understand the importance of li, which is synthesized by philosopher Ch2. And then, of course, we have to present my view on the book of Han Feizi. Do you know Han Feizi has been compared with who? Machiavelli. Yeah. I think you said Machiavelli, right? Yes. Yeah, Machiavelli. Yeah. And of course, many of you, if you have attended political philosophy course, Machiavelli has opened the door for some political philosophy becoming political science. If I use more positive words, But if you use some negative words, he just get rid of some moral emphasis from the discussion on good government, right? Yeah, and this very similar role has been made by the philosopher Han Feizi. Yeah, and Han Feizi's influence is also very great. Yeah, considerable. Yeah. So we end with my explanation on individual thinkers with Han Feizi. And in the last lecture, I again contextualize all the philosophers and role and some important point and some what I think most important contextual points in relationship among thinkers. And then I presented some implication for the understanding for some linkage between our understanding on the early Chinese philosophy and our own understanding on contemporary Chinese and or other East Asian socio-political matters. And lastly, the reading materials. So next week we read the one articles which has been published by Philosophy East and West. Is there such a thing as a Chinese philosophy? Arguments of implicit debate. Yeah. And then the second week we use the two, as I mentioned, two texts, Feng Yongran's Short History of Chinese Philosophy. It includes one part which is called the Spirit of Chinese Philosophy. Yeah. And then Friedrich Mott, Intellectual Foundation of China. Yeah. And then historical understanding the origin of Confucianism. I have chosen the one article which is contained in the Cambridge History of China. Yeah, the title is The Warring States Political History. Yeah, it's a very good article. And then Marcus' view has been contrasted with my own view. Yeah, so I take one part, one section, yeah, from my book, and then on Confucius we read Herbert Finger Confucius, first 3 chapters. Yeah, I think some 50 pages, and Mozi, Laozi, Zhuangzi. Yeah, I use A.C. Graham's Disputers of Tao. Yeah. Distributors of Tao. And then about Mencius, I use Brian Van Noden's Monzi. Monzi means Mencius. Yeah, Mencius. His introduction, very long introduction, but I think some 15 pages or so. Yeah. And the Qixua's Rise of Qixua Scholars, I use Benjamin Schwab's The World of Thought in Ancient China. Yeah, Ancient China. But it's a very short part. And in the Qixua discussion, again, I use my own article because this perspective has proposed by my own research. So I also use some 15, 20 pages. Yeah. And then Xunzi, yeah, I think I use A.C. Graham's and my own, and we contrast, yeah. And the last lectures on Han Feizi, I use Xiao Gongquan, yeah, Xiao Gongquan's translation. Yeah, he wrote about Han Feizi. Yeah, Han Feizi. Yeah, actually, I will publish my own Han Feizi's article, 2 articles in the United States, but now in proofreading. But I'm afraid that it's on time or not, and it's more specific matters, specific issues. So I think I also considering to give to you to read. But basically, it's fine for us to read Xiao Gongquan's book chapters, and it includes a lot of quotation from the text. Yeah, so it's also very convenient. And yeah, I supplement the translations. Yeah, because I got the question. Yeah, now we have the website. Yeah, Chinese text project. It presents most of translation, not all, but most of translation. I mean, Confucius, the Annals of Confucius, Mozi, Monzi, Zhuangzi, Laozi. Yeah, most of. But yeah, it is the easiest way to access the Chinese text with the original. Yeah, original. But the translation is very old. Yeah, because it is permitted, this translation permitted to publicize because it's already past, I don't know, 70 years or 60 years. since the authors died, right? So these are all very old translation, yeah. And my presentation of citation from the ancient texts basically based on these texts. Otherwise, I translate by myself, yeah. And I would like to recommend to read is Burton Watterson's translation. They are divided, yeah. Han Feizi, Zhuangzi, Mozi, and Xunzi, yeah. And it is not complete translation. So that means very compact for you, yeah. So and Burton Watterson's Zhuangzi's translation has been publicized in internet, yeah, And the reason that I recommend that is that Burton Watterson's translation is extremely readable, very readable compared to other translation, yeah. So it is very easy for you to take the main idea, yeah, or the meaning of the whole text, yeah. Other translations are more or less very interpretative. Well, I mean, it's something project translators' own ideas, yeah. But of course, you can choose. And as for the translation of the Analects and Lao Tzu, there are too many translations. So I would like to suggest, first, the first you go around library or the bookstore and just you take, by yourself and see, what you like, yeah. But at least you are now in Taiwan, at least one semester. Now is a very good opportunity to take one or two translation and read complete, and you bring back to your own country, yeah. And this is become I think your basis for your understanding, for your further understanding. Okay, thank you very much.